Thanks, Gary. Folks, I applaud the city of Avery. I applaud the people of Avery. We do have some landowner issues. There's only 2 of them. I've mentioned, how the conversations have gone. But I tell you, for the largest part, the city of Avery really wants to, they now understand how valuable economically the full, true use of this trail can be to them. So I applaud them. Now, the value of equine tourism to the Northeast Texas Trail. See? Well, look at there. Folks, this is actually on our trail.
I saw them this morning, Keith.
Oh, well, you probably saw something just like it. All right, Steve? Now, this is the Best of America by Horseback TV show. How many of you know the Best of America by Horseback TV show came and did a full 30-minute TV show on the city of DeKalb and Avery? And there you go. For those of you who didn't know, this is Tom Seed right there. Tom Seed is the host and producer. He and his wife produced that TV show. It's the #1 equine-related TV show on cable TV. Happens to be on RFD TV. I'm going to encourage you to go to the Best of America Horseback TV show Facebook page. Go to about June of 2013, and you will see the promo video Tom shot, telling people that the show was going to be airing. And then he's got a bunch of photographs of the time they were here with us. See? That's just another shot. This is a typical group of trail riders. Typical group. See? Nationwide, over 70% of horse owners live in communities of 50,000 or less. 70% are rural-minded people. Now, you're going to find a bunch of thoroughbred owners in rural areas. You're going to find a bunch of high-dollar horses in rural. No. These are people who like to ride. They have a median income of $60,000. 46% of horse owners have an income between $25,000 and $75,000, while 28% have an annual income of over $100,000. Of nearly 2 million U.S. horse owners, over half own horses for recreational use. They're not racing. They're not, wearing English breeches and English saddles and jumping fences. Over half are for recreational use. Not showing, not running barrels. Of 9.2 million horses owned in the U.S., Texas had 978,000, Oklahoma had 326,000, Arkansas had 168, Louisiana had 164. Folks, this is the 4-state group closest to the Northeast Texas Trail. That's a lot of horses. After #1 Texas at 1 million, the next 2 leading states in horse population were California with 698 and Florida with 500,000. See? The result of that statistic is this. Over 2 million of the 9 million horses are concentrated in 3 states. And get this. 1 on the West Coast, 1 on the East Coast, and where are we? Right in the middle of both of them. This was one fact that Tom Seed made and impressed on us when they were here, about how many people will drive thousands of miles. I don't know if y'all saw it. I posted it on one of our deals. I shared it, where a guy said, "Hey folks, I'm through." He's a school teacher. He said, "I finished early. I'm leaving. I won't be back until September." Guess what he was leaving in? His truck and horse trailer. Guess what he was going to spend the entire summer doing? Touring the U.S. Guess what he was going to be doing with his horse? Riding trails. There are people, this is what they do, and they have money to spend. Right? Of the 9.2 million horses in the U.S., almost 4 million are used for recreation as opposed to racing, competition, or showing, or work. All the statistics that I just rattled off come from a 2005 study, and all the people who have examined that study said it was the most comprehensive study of equine dollars ever done in the United States. It's the American Horse Council in 2005. Go ahead, Steve. The average trail rider spends $210 round trip on travel to make 11 trail rides a year. Overnight trail riders spend an average of $29 a night. That includes staying at a $8 hostel arrangement, or a $60 a night hotel, or a $30 a night camping site somewhere. And they stay 2.8 nights, 2.5 times a year. The resulting direct economic impact of just trail riding is $2,513 per rider per year. That doesn't take into account fuel, feed, vet care, medicine, tire repairs, auto repairs, tow vehicle purchases, trailer purchases, tack purchases where somebody had brakes arranged, got to stop and get a set of reins or a bridle or a halter, have to get the horses reshod. That statistic came from the Kentucky Horse Council in 2008. University of Minnesota studied the economic impact of equine tourism, and they found that local trail riders spend an average of $26.88 per person per day when trail riding. If Earl's still here, Bob, what's the daily rate for a bicyclist? Isn't it like $13 a day?
Yeah, probably $10.
Okay. Hey, $10 a day, and there's a whole lot more. I'm not sneezing at bicyclists or hikers, Tracy. I'm just simply saying local horse people will spend $26.88 a day when they're trail riding. Better than that. When trail riding, while those traveling more than 30 miles to trail ride spend an average of $43 a day. That means those people who are touring with their horses, who will drive long distances, $43 a day. Now, this was a study done by the University of Minnesota. We're not pulling these figures out of somebody's hat, folks. People have studied this. Why? Because when the public spends money, the public wants to know how well their money has been spent and what's the return. Well, these studies are done, and this is what they're finding. Why do you think that figure is? Steve? How would you recognize the typical, I didn't get a chance to fix that. How would you recognize the typical equine tours? Well, they're very communal animals, and they love to travel in packs of 3 or more. Steve? Now, folks, I'm going to tell y'all a story, and I'm going to tell it very quickly, just so you'll know. You know, when Tom and them were here with the TV show, they took every chance possible to do a 30-minute show. How much taping how many hours of video do you think they need? 2? To cut and edit, come down to 30 minutes. So they were videoing everything. Well, we were set up out in the industrial park. This is before we put the temporary pins, before we ran the electricity and all that. He's trying to do an interview of somebody out there on the grounds. And it just so happens he's interviewing me. And he's asking me, things about it. And he just happens to notice something that looked like this go whizzing down Highway 82. And he stopped and he said, "You see that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Does it look like they're slowing down?" I said, "No." He said, "Key, they're not going to. Because they don't know what you have here. You got the Northeast Texas Trail out there. Do you think they know there's a trail they can ride?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you think they know they got a nice, friendly town here? We've loved y'all. We've never been treated better. Do you think they know that?" No. So he goes on with the interview. It's not 5 minutes later. Here these 3 come. All in a row. He says, "You see that?" "Yeah." "Does it look like they're slowing down?" I said, "No." Okay. So we go on, we're talking about some more stuff. He's trying to get the video and making sure my audio's checked. And I am not kidding. There were 6 or 7 of these in a row. He said, Keith, Gummit, I'm telling you, these are people who are not from here. Local people don't get up in groups like that and travel. These are not people going to your grocery store. These are the people you need to be attracting to your town and your trail. He said they are everywhere. And people who travel with horses struggle mightily to have a place to stop for the night. He said, and this is the phrase he kept saying, he said, you have got to quit thinking that you are in the middle of nowhere. You are actually in the middle of everywhere. He said, these people could be in Oregon and they're heading to Florida to ride trails. These people could be from upstate New York heading to Arizona to ride trails. But they're not going to make that trip without stopping. You need to be the place they're going to stop. You're centrally located. You're on 2 major highways. It is a crime that you are not ready to take these people into your town. I'll tell you more later. Go ahead, Steve. Often, equine tourists have their communities and they look like this. Look at that. Those are equine tourists. Those are the people that will spend $43 a day in your towns. But you've got to give them, first of all, they got to know you're there, and you got to give them something when they get there and stop. Okay? Go ahead. This is personal. This is for DeKalb. And I mentioned these 2 gentlemen before. Earl Smith and T.O. Pines were 2 old cowboys who were early supporters of the NeTT of Bowie County. That's why we have such a long history of horse use in this area, because horses have used our trails forever. Not organized, not under any sense of somebody owns it and authority and they're trying to take it. They just have used it for so long. But these guys, when we started talking about doing something with it, making it official, holding fundraising trail rides, these were the 2 leaders. Because their thing was, we want our kids to have a safe place to ride, away from traffic, that doesn't involve a stopwatch and doesn't involve a crowd of people. And 90% of all the work that you've seen photographs of in Bowie County, 90% of the labor was provided by horse people. 90% of the materials that went into the bridges, horse people. And that's our situation. That's our story. And Steve, I believe that's it. Okay, so what do y'all think about equine tourism? You think you want to ignore them? You think you want to disregard them? Yeah. Dean Nix, he's my hero. Joseph Pitchford, he's my hero. Tracy Rumsey, she's my hero. 2 bikers and a hiker, I just named them. What I'm trying to tell you is you need to think in terms of don't neglect your horse people. Don't neglect what you think you ought to do to accommodate horse people. Because they travel in $100,000 trucks, pulling $150,000 horse trailers, hauling $25,000 trail riding horses. They have trucks that break down. They have horses that need feed. They have horses that need medicine, need shoes put on. That's why when y'all look on the Facebook, the web page, when you go into the amenities for DeKalb, guess some of the things DeKalb made sure got mentioned. Horseshoers. I think we're the only town that thought, well, we better let people know we got horseshoers. We got several of them around here. Anybody gets caught in our area, we can give you telephone numbers of horseshoers to come put shoes back on your horse's feet. Folks, there's nothing magic about this. We look for opportunities to learn from people like Tom Seed and the Best of America by Horseback TV show. We dig up statistics like this, okay? I'm through. Do y'all have any questions? Any way we can help, ma'am?
Well, but recently, I think last month, I went to the Equine Fest that Greenville held, and they had a Texas Trail Riding Group. They had representatives there, okay? They hadn't even heard that we had a trail. This is Texas. They're not, southeastern. No, this is the Texas Trail. They didn't even know we existed. And it just so happened that I went, oh, hey, look, with my kids, and I was like, yeah, I live right next to the Chaparral Trail, and she was like, what's that? So, yeah, in 5 minutes of speaking with this lady, Phyllis, real nice lady, she was like, you've got to invite me out. So now I've got to get my ranch ready to have these folks come out, you know? And, but, hey, these people, like he said, they don't roll in on, you know, $2,500 worth of equipment. These people, we love our horses. We absolutely love our horses. And if we can go down the trail with all of our kids and our families and enjoy and have fun, we're going to spend the money to do it. I myself, I'm in Wolf City, and if you don't know who I am, I'm the only lady in Wolf City that's really pushing to have this done. And I run my tractor down there once a month, down the trail, just to get stuff done. And I'm just one person. When I get the other ranches that are near me to help out, we get a lot done. And now we're at the point where it's just maintenance. So every spring, when everything starts to grow, we go out there. And I was really very grateful to you guys after the ice storm. Thank you so much. Because I looked at that and went, oh my goodness. There was no way I was going to do it by myself. And my husband works overseas, so he's like, you need volunteers, Karen. But thank you so much for coming out and clearing that out for us. But our section of the trail does get used a lot. And I did see you guys have that ride tomorrow. And I apologize, I'm just not prepared right now, but I will, if I get back home, I am running late, but if I get back home in time and get the work I need to get done on my ranch done tonight, tomorrow we'll probably set up a water Gatorade booth for you guys. And it'll be, I don't know, once you pass, coming from Farmersville, once you pass the really bad bridge in Wolf City that's next to the water reservoir, you'll have 3 more bridges. Once you get past that 3rd bridge, the first intersection you come to, there's a cemetery, there's a road and a cemetery right up here. We've talked about using that for parking before and stuff for that section, and that's where we will set up if I can get everything done tonight that I need to get done. So we'll blame Keith.